Bito's AI Architect is a real step forward for enterprises looking to maximize agentic coding. But why do we have architects? Architects are here to understand your code base and enable your team with a consistent technical vision and manage the complexity that arises as code bases scale. They have a deep understanding of what all the different components in your system are, how it all fits together and works. Maybe where some of the gotchas are, and they draw a lot of system diagrams. We wanted to make that available to everybody. Bito's AI Architect learns your code base repo by repo, whether you have 50 repos or 5,000. The key capabilities, your APIs, modules, technology, and how it fits and all works together. Let's show it to you in action. As you can see, it's available as an MCP here in Cursor, but so also you can plug it into Claude Code, Visual Studio Code, any of the tools that you want for agentic code. So I have a weather app here. Let's say when the weather app is loading, I want to check my billing system to see if the user is on a paid or free plan. Now I start to wonder, what billing services do I have in my org and how can I use them? With Bito's AI Architect, this cursor agent here is able to interact with that, search the MCP, get all the endpoints, and able to implement it right the first time, because the architect's providing examples of how it's implemented in your code and what all the documentation is. This would normally take me an hour to find the docs, feed it to the agent, and try to get it right. Now the agent can figure it out all itself and autonomously write the code. Because with that our MCP was able to access the billing repos and understand you have subscription management, plan features, workspace counting, and then it was able to then accurately add the code 58 lines here, another 55 lines here, to be able to really properly access your billing APIs just how they were intended to be, using examples that exist actually in your code currently. Now let's switch to Claude Desktop, where I've again connected the Bito AI Architect MCP. Architects are great at helping you understand broadly how things work together, how your overall system works together. As you know, Bito does code review. Let's talk about explain how AI code review works in my system to help somebody new with onboarding or just trying to understand some new parts of the code base. So now here, Sonnet is going to connect with the MCP, and the MCP is going to provide a lot of information as it tries to understand what capabilities there are there and allows you to answer your question. Now let's come back with the answer after using this architect to understand how the AI code review system works, explaining the system architecture, the key services. It scanned over 20 different repositories to understand what are the key capabilities and how do they all work together. It's talking about agent execution management, the job lifecycle, what infrastructure is required, and then how the overall code review kind of works in terms of triggers, webhooks, etc. It explains key features, whatnot. And you could then continue to ask whatever questions you want to really get into the details of what you need. Now let's get into some diagramming. Architects are great at drawing diagrams and helping us understand again how our system works together. So let's say, list me the key services and draw me a high-level block diagram of my AI code review in HTML so I can understand things, and then draw me a dependency diagram in Mermaid. Again, it will interact with the MCP to really figure out what are the key capabilities, what are the different services you have, how do they all work together, what are all the connections and edges there. All right, so now I've got my high-level block diagram here. Let's check it out in HTML. That kind of shows me what external triggers, orchestration and job management, the analysis. So it gives me a really high-level view of what's kind of happening and all the key components. And now I also wanted a dependency diagram in Mermaid. Let's check that out. Here it is in Mermaid, a comprehensive dependency diagram showing all the various services and how they're connected together and working together, which was just generated within a minute based on the AI Architect. In short, Bito's AI Architect is available for agentic coding, for onboarding, and to help you with diagramming. It really can unlock for huge microservices-oriented architectures or big monoliths. How do you connect everything together, and how do you make things really work for your teams? Good luck, and we hope you enjoy.